I'm recording. Okay, whoops, sorry. Hey, hi. Oh boy, I have some phone notifications coming in. Here for a check-in. Oh, there's another one. Someone's sending me lots of pictures. Here for a check-in. It is Monday, September 14th. Yep, Monday, September 14th, 5:15 Birmingham time. And I'm coming to you once again from my cozy art nook, my studio space, my in-home studio. And as I look around here, it's pretty messy right now. So let me show you. I'll give you an idea, a better idea of like where I am, since you only usually see what's behind me. So let's see if I can get the camera right. Okay, so that's, can you see it? Yeah. That is my nook, my art nook. That's where I work. It's really nice because it's by windows, although at this time of day, as you can see, there is a lot of sun coming in. So I pulled the curtains to sort of diffuse that light a little bit. But oh yeah, and I was going to point out some of the craziness that I have going on here. So I have my orchid plant that I was drawing, my other little succulent guy back there that I was drawing, shells. I have my Frida book. I have some old work that I was going to maybe show you in a little bit. I have some painting stuff over here. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I have the mirror for, I was working on a self-portrait yesterday, so I'll show you that in a little bit. And kombucha, special treat that I bought myself the other day. I really love this Kavita. The ginger flavor is my favorite. I really, really like the ginger flavor. I don't buy it for myself often because it's like a little pricey for just a small beverage, but really not that bad. And I have my book, my trusty Artist Way. Okay, let me put the phone back down. And we will do our check-in. Is that good? Still need to get a tripod for my camera. Where was I? So yeah, so I've been working in my studio space for the afternoon, having a great time. I guess first I will recap what I realized over the weekend that's related to this project, and then I'll show you what I've been working on this afternoon. How's that sound? Anytime I take a drink while I'm recording myself, it literally feels like forever. I can like count in my head the seconds that go by, but I really wanted to take a sip of that. So maybe you are also enjoying a nice, refreshing beverage of some sort. Maybe you're in the mood for kombucha. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So first, my realization over the weekend. So I took some time away from the YouTube to disconnect. And I took some time to check in with myself and talk to some good friends. And they helped me see what I think has been going on here, which is, and you might not have even realized unless you watched Friday's check-in, you know, I kind of talked about how I was having trouble like being myself on the camera and how I sort of got in my head about it and was freaking myself out. So anyway, we talked it through, and I think what's going on, a few things. Number one is I think I lost sight of my why, my reason behind doing this project, this YouTube challenge thing. Originally, it was about helping hold myself accountable as a fun way to track my progress on my creative journey. That was like the number one reason. That was the first part of this idea. It was also kind of related to the podcast and how I can connect this to my teaching in some way and, you know, developing those skill areas like we've talked about. And my brain works in making connections. I like to connect all the dots as much as possible, and I'm very good at making connections between things. Sometimes when there really isn't a connection there, I just invent one, or I'll find one. But anyway, I think I was trying to like connect this to my teaching, because this time of not being officially teaching a course, aside from the one night course that I just picked up, it's like an adult Spanish course, so I start tomorrow. But not teaching in the way that I'm used to. It was almost like having this freedom that, unknown to me before. This freedom of time, this freedom of like how I use my day, almost was so unfamiliar to the point of being scary. Like, I think part of me was actually scared by that big blank canvas, if you will. And if we're not used to having a certain degree of freedom in our life, when we get it, it can almost be, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be kind of unsettling. It's such a foreign thing that we almost don't know how to have the permission to have that kind of freedom. It's like when someone gives you a gift and it's a really, really generous gift, and you're like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have. Like, I don't deserve it, kind of thing, Like, how do I even have this? How do I'm not worthy. So I think that might have been going on to some degree. And it's like this idea of like how to really embrace this freedom and find a way to be comfortable with it, taking away the structure that I'm used to, taking away all the requirements that I'm used to, and even not having to be in the teacher modality was something so unfamiliar to me. At least it had been a really long time, more than 10 years that I haven't been required to access that, I don't know how else to call it, that modality, that side of me, that part of me, the Professor Holly. So I think that artist Holly, if you will, and this, thanks to my friends for like pointing this out, artist Holly was like a little scared with having all this freedom, like excited, but also scared. So then Professor Holly came in and tried to sort of take the reins on this project and just kind of swooped in and tried to take it over and be like, okay, we're going to make this useful. We're going to make these into lessons. We're going to make these short and sweet so that people will watch them and get something out of them. And yeah, like making it useful. That was like a big thing that I started thinking about last week, which then turned into something very different than what I had intended and what was the original plan for this project. And that's where I was starting to feel this pressure and like almost like I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a traitor. Like I was betraying the essence of what I want to be doing with this project and with this time in my life. So thanks to that realization, I'm telling Professor Holly that she can take a break, that she can take a sabbatical, that she doesn't have to make an appearance, and she doesn't have to take control, and she doesn't have to make this into something useful for others. If it turns out to be useful for others, that's awesome. Like, I would love that. I would love this to be something that I enjoy and that other people enjoy and maybe find value in. But I know that needs to be secondary. It sounds selfish, but I know this is the way I have to go about it, because the other way just wasn't working, wasn't sustainable. So as you can see, this video is already almost 10 minutes. I am not panicking. I'm not gonna press the stop recording button and try to do it over and make it more condensed. no, I'm giving myself the freedom of space and time. You can stop it now. Maybe you already have stopped it. No, just kidding. Because if you heard that, you're still listening. But anyway, I want to use this as what I originally intended, excuse me, as sort of a, what am I calling it? A video log? Like a journal, like a video journal of check-ins where I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about, mainly regarding my art project. But as I know, that you can't divorce that from like what's going on in my life and in my mind, you know, because it's all connected and it's all gonna affect one another. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, if you're still watching, then join me for an update on what I've been working on. Let me just make sure. I did make like a very, very rough list. The other times when I was trying to be really professor about it, I like had it way more planned out. This is my this is my list. So pretty rough. So, and you know what? I don't even think I had what I just talked about on this list. We're going with spontaneous as the theme for today. Okay, so I'll show you what I just did. Ankle's still a little sore. It's getting much better though. Hang on. Okay, so I'll take it over. I'm gonna take the camera over because the sun is really shining in right now. Okay, whoop, as I trip. Okay, so you saw this painting before. This is not new. Well, maybe you didn't. If you saw, I don't know, whatever number check-in that was, I've lost track. But this was the first painting that I had done in a really long time, and I just added another little element to it. Do you see? I went a little wild, actually. I added in the what would you call it? Roots / veins. Do you see? So, and again, I'll show you the drawing and the print that this was based off of. And it's kind of funny because these are mirror images of each other. So this was the original drawing that I did, like just in pencil. Can you see it? Just in pencil. I used an anatomy textbook as my source imagery. So I drew that, then I scanned it, then I printed it out, and I did this process that's sort of like rudimentary printmaking, which is wintergreen oil transfer, and I might show you that actually before the end of this video, or maybe a different video. It's kind of cool. So anyway, I printed it out, and then I transferred the drawing onto this nicer paper. This is like a BFK, an art paper. And then and then I printed out a photo of the rose that I had taken. I can't remember if it was from my garden or the botanical gardens. I think it might have been a picture I took at the botanical gardens a few months ago. And it's on my Instagram because I had it in black and white on Instagram. Anyway, so I printed that out also on another piece of paper. And then I did a wintergreen oil transfer to add that to the heart because, well, I don't know. A while ago, back in like March, I just got this image of the heart with flowers on it. And then it turns out my friend has a tattoo with a heart with flowers on it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize you had flowers on it. And I had been thinking about that, but maybe it was subconscious. But also I think that maybe is more common than I realized, the idea of like heart with flowers on it or growing out of it. And that's sort of that's what I was envisioning in March, because everything was in bloom and the roses were going crazy. They really like that time of year. And as you might remember, I did a lot of heart work, heart imagery back in college, which was inspired by Frida. I don't even know if I realized that on a conscious level. Again, I probably did when I was in college, but because Frida Kahlo has a lot of anatomical heart imagery in her paintings, and she's someone who I look to and I admire. By the way, she was a self-taught painter. I don't think I said that in the last episode. She taught herself how to paint when she was recovering from that awful, worse than awful, what's a really, really strong adjective that means awful? Horrendous, we'll go with that, horrendous bus accident that almost killed her, that put her in a full body cast for like 6 months. And then as soon as she was able to like use her arms and hands, I guess, she resorted to painting to help heal her spirit. She taught herself how to paint. Anyway, getting off track. Oh yeah, so the anatomical heart is something that I started working with in college, and actually I'll show you. This was one of the woodcuts that I did in college. Can you tell what that is? So it's a heart with all the, what are they called? Valves. I think that's the word. Anyway, a heart and colibri, hummingbirds that are sucking out of the heart. Pretty gruesome, right? So this one was about the feeling of nostalgia when you have memories from your past, whether recent or distant, and the memories are beautiful and maybe even joyful. Hummingbird, beauty, joy, love, maybe. But once that time has passed, and especially if it's about like a past relationship that is no longer alive, or someone who's no longer in your life, those memories can become painful. So it's sort of that, the juxtaposition of beauty and pain, joy and pain. And so the hummingbirds representing those memories are sucking on the heart, kind of sucking, like the idea of like sucking the life force out of the heart. So very emo, pretty gruesome. That's what a lot of my college, well, not a lot. There was definitely a body of work in college that was along these lines. What can I say? I'm an artist and I feel things very deeply. And it used to make me feel a little bit embarrassed, but now I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, you know what? This is who I am, and it kind of fuels good art. This is another version of that same woodcut. So now that you've seen those, and my arm is kind of hurting. I have zero upper body strength and I'm holding this phone. Okay, so now that you've seen those, I'll go back to this. So I think what I have going on here, obviously there's sort of that surrealist play between the roots of the rose, but also at the same time they are the veins on the heart, right? And since I was basing it on this print, like I didn't go too wild with the veins on this one, but for whatever reason, I started painting this afternoon, and I don't know, it was just really fun to like paint those veins. So I just went at it, and I was like, I might be overdoing it here because less can be more, and I definitely had that thought as I was doing it, but I was really enjoying the process of painting them. And I thought to myself, hey, isn't this about enjoying the process, finding joy in the journey? Then why not just go for it? And I did. And now, honestly, I kind of do like it. Like, I feel like it's, it makes it even more gruesome, but I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. And it's got a lot of like visual and tactile texture because I put the paint on pretty thick in some areas. So yeah, so now I think that might be done. If anything, I might go in there with like a little, once it's dry, because it's still wet, I might go in with a little like permanent marker, what's it called? really fine point Sharpie, really, really fine point, and see if I do like a hairline, really thin veins to kind of add to it. I don't know, we'll see. Actually, I was also thinking about, for some reason I'm picturing newsprint, like newspaper clipping style text, like integrated into, like around the heart, like kind of woven into the background. Not sure where that's coming from, although I do enjoy script and text mixed into my work. I really like mixed media. Like the fact that that's all paint, I mean, it was fun to do. I definitely enjoyed the painting process, but I almost want to go at it with like some other material to add more dimension. I don't know. So maybe it's not done. I think it's probably not done. I think I'm gonna keep working on it. So anyway, that's that. What next? Oh, the next thing I was gonna show you is this. This is what I've been working on. So I told you I was into Frida. I told you I didn't tell you anything else. I just told you I was into Frida. When I was revisiting Frida and Vincent van Gogh last week, I noted, I was really looking at their portraits and self-portraits primarily, and I thought to myself, wow, I haven't done a self-portrait in I don't know how long. Again, probably not since whatever semester it was that I did painting. And by the way, I realized since that last video about painting that I actually did take another semester of painting. And isn't it funny that the semester that I remember the best was the one that I didn't enjoy. The one that I got that grade that I was unhappy with is the one that stuck out in my mind. The next semester I took intermediate painting. It was like it had gone so far back into my memory that I really almost forgot that it had happened. But I had a professor who I really liked. I don't even remember the grade I got in the class, but that was irrelevant because I remember just really liking this professor. He was so down to earth. I remember he would tell me, you know, sometimes I just paint for a while and then I get tired and I go take a nap. And sometimes it's important to just go take a nap. I really like that philosophy. So anyway, I haven't painted a self-portrait or drawn a self-portrait in a really long time, but I was looking at like Frida and her self-portraits and Van Gogh's self-portrait. So I did some sketching yesterday, which turned out horrible. Like I sketched a few quick self-portraits from the mirror that I have set up here, and like I'll just show you. I mean, I put them in the trash. Like I'm not holding on to these. They look like aliens. These were just some creepy eyes that I tried to do while I was like smiling. I know, I'm going so quickly because I'm embarrassed. This is not my best work, but that's okay, part of the process. There's this one, look like a creepy baby doll. This one maybe is the least creepy of all of them, but still kind of creepy. Oh, and then this one's the worst. This one looks like a alien. Like an old man alien. I don't know. So that didn't go so well. But I still wanted to do a self-portrait. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna grab the canvas and go for it. So I haven't painted it yet, but I did sketch out the self-portrait. And I will show you that here. Also mildly creepy. Let me see if I can get it so that the sunlight isn't too distracting. Yeah, sorry if you can't see it at all. So what I have going on here is, yes, my face, my hair, and butterflies. And Zizu just decided to join us. Hello there. So the butterflies have been with me. Oh, Zizu, don't show that. I swear, every time he just has to put his butt in your face. Sorry for that. So butterflies have been with me since March. I do a lot of thinking about animals and like animal totems as spiritual messengers. And I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet, but at this point I doubt anyone's really going to be watching, so I can tell you all my secrets. Anyway, so butterflies have been a significant like totem animal in my life for the past few months, and they've carried a lot of messages to me, a lot of meaning. And I just got this image a while ago of like, well, the image I originally got is a little bit different. I had the image of butterflies like swirling around me, and I was picturing myself like looking up and smiling. That's really hard to draw myself at that angle when I'm the one drawing. If I want to do that, I'm going to have to take a picture of myself and then draw from the picture, which is not as, don't sit in the paint. It was close. I have some paint there. So anyway, I opted to just do, the pose that, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to put him down here because I can't battle hiding his rear end from you. So if you look at like every single Frida self-portrait, she has the same look on her face, and she's kind of looking at the same angle, which is very similar to the angle that I had in mine. There's another one. It's sort of that, tilted to the side. Well, mine was tilted down a little bit. Well, so is hers. But when you're drawing yourself, it's just really hard to draw any other angle other than like straight on, which that would be pretty creepy too. Anyway, so that's what I have going, and I am excited to paint it, but I also haven't worked out yet what I'm going to do color-wise. I think I want this one in full color because obviously, I started with black and white for my first painting. Excuse me. Partly just to keep things simple for myself, since getting back into a new medium is ambitious enough, and I mean not ambitious, but it's enough of a challenge just remembering how to work with paint as a medium. So that's why I kept it simple for that first one, just black and white, or grayscale technically. And for this one, I think I'm ready to dive into some color. I mean, I have butterflies, and a big part of their beauty is their color. So I definitely want the butterflies colored. I thought briefly about doing like the portrait itself in black and white and just the butterflies in color. So that would be kind of cool. But I don't know. Then I'm thinking maybe I want a background of really bright green foliage. Like I have a picture that I took at the botanical gardens of the really big green leaves, kind of like banana plant leaves. So I was thinking maybe I would do that in the background, but to be determined. And he's back. So we'll see. I may get into that today or tomorrow. Not entirely sure. What else? Oh my goodness. Sorry for that. What else did I want to tell you? Let me take a quick sip of kombucha. Why don't you lie down? Oh, there you go. Yep. He found a piece of paper to lie on. I feel like I need to show you because he's so cute. Oops. There he is. Okay. So I was thinking maybe I would do a wintergreen oil transfer to show you today, but I'll save that for another video. And yeah. Oh, and I already have another painting idea in mind. Crazy, it just came to me yesterday. So I'm not going to tell you. Not sure when I'm going to get to that, but oh my goodness, Zizu, can you lie down? Thank you. So let's see. Did I tell you all the things? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, well, 30 minutes later, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. If you watched all the way to the end, then I admire your patience. Okay, I will let you go. I am cheering you on, and thanks for spending this time with me. And do you like my bracelets? You've probably seen them in every video. My nieces made them for me. Love them. 544, 44, that's my number. Okay, that's my cue. So signing off for now. I will check in again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.